G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my Denver Nuggets v Portland Trail Blazers Game 4 review. The first thing I can take away from this game is that I was glad I didn't wake up so early to watch it live. I actually ended up watching it after the game ended. I watched the replay. And luckily I did, because Denver were absolutely atrocious in this game. It was just abysmal to watch. And to be honest, I think we missed a big opportunity here because Lillard had his worst game of the series and probably of his playoffs just about. Only had 10 points on 1 of 10 shooting in 31 minutes. But like a great player does, he was contributing in other ways, had 8 rebounds and 10 assists, only turned it over once. So the good thing for them was that he wasn't forcing it too much, although he didn't need to because the game was a blowout, so he didn't have to play too much. But yeah, for Denver, although we shot so bad, we weren't totally out of it. We're only down by 10 points at halftime. But it just seemed that no one showed up. Jokic even seemed out of it early on. Just wasn't efficient as he normally was. Like his stat line for how bad he played isn't the worst, like 16 and 9, and he was our best player still, basically. That just shows how poor everyone else was. I mean, it just looked like no one was trying. Besides, I guess, Campazzo, because he always looks like he tries. He always gives it his all. But it was the story of the role players tonight, especially for Portland. Norman Powell absolutely destroyed Porter Jr. Porter Jr. is just so frustrating at times. You can see he has all the talent in the world. He has the ability. He has the height and the length, but he's just not physical enough, and his ball security is very questionable. Every time he puts it on the deck, you get a bit nervous because you can see a turnover possibly coming. And he just doesn't work hard enough for his shots, and then the other players aren't setting him up enough. They're not working hard enough off ball to set screens and to help get him open. Which Norman Powell, credit to him, did a great job of denying Porter Jr. the ball. Like, he only had 3 shot attempts and they were all threes, and he hit 1. So expecting Game 5 back in Denver for Malone to try to get Porter involved very early on, because he was just taken out of the game. And it affected other areas. Like, his defense is already bad, but it's just not going to help him want to play defense if he doesn't get rewarded and touch the ball on the other end. But yeah, anyone else for Denver that really stood out to me? No, Gordon didn't do anything. Campazzo, as I said, was probably it was decent. He tried. Rivers, It's just absolutely terrible from everyone. Actually, Monte Morris did play pretty well, to be fair, and JaMychal Green. Monte Morris and JaMychal Green I thought were good off the bench, but the game was over because our third quarters are always so atrocious. I don't understand why. Malone must just give the worst halftime team talks, or we just start slow, because I swear every third quarter has to be our worst quarter. That's for sure. And for Portland, the one adjustment I noticed was Kanter basically got benched. They played Rondae Hollis-Jefferson instead of him just because of his defense, I'm assuming, because Kanter, we know he can score the ball, he just can't stop the other team from scoring the ball. So they went with Rondae, and I think it worked. And Nurkic finally played well on the offensive end, and I feel like they have to give the ball to Nurkic more. You have to make Jokic work on defense, so then he gets more fatigued and it affects him more on his offensive end. You got to just bang bodies a bit more, and Nurkic did a great job tonight. He did play a bit more physical. The refs obviously let him get away with that a bit more tonight. But when he's effective on the offensive end, it's a good sign for Portland. But yeah, they won by 20. Not much more to say. Melo was pretty good again off the bench. But yeah, Denver were just atrocious. 34% from the field, 30% from 3. Just abysmal. And I feel like we just really missed an opportunity with Lillard being held to 10 points, 1 of 10. Campazzo has his best defensive game on him, and we just didn't show up. Very disappointing. And if we don't bounce back in Game 5, geez, it's going to be a lost series, you'd think. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Peace.